In this video, my goal is to show you how you need to connect a multi-selection drop-down to a pivot table. For example, in this case, I have this product and total sale amount. And if I click on region filter, I can easily unselect and select any other region. Pivot table will automatically update. And not only this, I can select any other store location. For example, I'm going to select store C and simply uncheck store A. So this is how my pivot table is automatically updating. But how we can develop this logic, I'm going to show you each and everything in this video. Consider I have this data sheet. The first thing, we need to hit Ctrl A to select all of the data sheet. Click on Insert. We need to insert pivot table on a new worksheet. The next thing, we need to move product on a rows area and sale amount on a values area. In this case, I don't need the show total, and we need to rename column B, let's say sale amount only. The next thing, I need to select all of this pivot table and simply move to column D and row number 6. Now I will click on view. We need to on the grid line for now. The next thing, we need to create a drop down. In this case, I'm going to merge few cell here. Click on data validation, add a rule here, drop down from a range, select data range, click here. Now click on data type, click on B2, drag the mouse down and simply remove the end reference, hit OK. Now if you want a different color, simply select a light color for each and every region. Now here you can see allow multiple selection. Simply check this one and hit done button. Now if I go to my new sheet, this is how my drop down is working. And if I close this data validation rule, we can see option here warp text. We need to center align and middle align as well. So this is how we create our first drop down. For the second drop down, I'm going to merge few cell again. Simply select allow multiple selection, hit done button, and now if I click on my new sheet, this is how my drop down is working. Now again we need to click on this cell, hit Ctrl C, click here, right click here, you can see paste special, we only want format only. The next thing, if you want header, simply merge two cell. Now our drop down are ready. The first thing, we need to develop formula for our pivot table. If I click on this data validation, you can see we have east, comma space is the separator. If I click on G2 cell, simply type equal. We need to type substitute function here. Double click. Now for the text to search, I'm going to click region drop down, hit comma. Search for, in this case, I want comma space, quotation mark, hit comma, and replace with quotation mark, pipe symbol, quotation mark again, close parenthesis, hit enter. Now we need to develop regex match function. Simply type equal regex match. Now which text you want to search, I'm going to click on data tab. Simply click on B2, drag the mouse down, remove the end reference, hit comma, click on pivot table 13 sheet. Now for the regular expression, I'm going to click on G2, close parenthesis, hit Ctrl Shift Enter and hit enter. Now this will return true whenever they match any of the region. Now if I click on my drop down and simply uncheck any of the region, you can see we get a true result whenever we have a match found on column B. The next thing, we don't want this as a separate formula. I'm going to copy this entire formula, hit Ctrl C, click on I2 and simply replace G2 with this new formula and hit Ctrl B. Now we need to modify this formula for our pivot table. If I click on data tab, the name of column is the region. So for pivot table, we need to use exactly the name. I'm going to copy the region name. Click on I2. In this case, I'm going to replace data B2 to B with the region name. And for pivot table, we don't need the array formula. I'm going to remove this one as well. Now this is the entire function for pivot table. I'm going to copy, hit Ctrl C. And now this function will not work on the worksheet, but if I click on my pivot table edit option here, scroll a little bit more, we need to add a filter based on region. Click show all items, filter by condition. We need to select custom formula and simply hit Ctrl V. So this is my entire formula. If I hit OK, and now my drop down is automatically connect with the pivot table. Now if I change the region, for example, I'm going to select any other region, you can see my pivot table is automatically auto updating. The next thing, we need to connect store location as well. So the first thing is we need to scroll here, and if I click on I2, we need to update this formula. So instead of region, if I click on data, we need to copy the store location, hit Ctrl C, click here, and we need to replace region with the store location. And now instead of A5, we need to replace this with A9. So if I simply write A9, now you can see this automatically connect with the store location. We need to copy this entire formula, hit Ctrl C, click on the pivot table, and we need to add another filter condition based on store location. Click here, filter by condition, custom formula, click here, Ctrl V, and now simply hit OK. Now our formula is automatically connect with the store location as well. Now if I close this window and we don't need these two formula anymore, simply hit delete key, and this is how we connect our pivot table to a multi-selection drop down.